What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Jesus Coin today. Oh man, what a past couple days it's been, and it's gonna get more exciting, and not in the way that anybody hopes for. Man, it's probably gonna go lower, is my genuine opinion. I think that right now it's not completely decisive, right? But we went from being like, I would say 70% likely that we'd continue going up to about a 50-50, and now I think we're at about a 60-40, maybe even a 70-30% chance that we're going to go down. 70 being the percentage we could go down, 30 being the percentage chance that we go up. And the reason why I say that is we still haven't technically closed a day below this line here. Today we could, but we haven't yet. The main reason I'm saying this is because, we didn't get the positive reaction off this blue line that I was looking for, right? But also, to the bullish effect, we do have this all-time high closing basis still as solid support. We had a very nice reaction off of that, but looking at this candle here, that's a pretty big candle. That's like the second biggest candle we've seen since we moved. I mean, that's really not saying much, honestly. I mean, 27% down in a week, man. It's not too encouraging. Holders here, 6.4 trillion on the Uniswap token, right? This coin, Jesus Coin, is only like available on DEXs, right? So this is the Uniswap wallet. Obviously, these are the coins that are burned or locked up forever, whatever, they're gone. Never to be moved, never to be touched. This wallet gaining prominence, gaining Jesus Coins, means there's less individuals holding it. There's more people who on Uniswap have sold it, right? So it's in the Uniswap like liquidity pool, essentially. It's in the coins that are available for people to buy. If not, it's just sitting on the Uniswap wallet. Anyways, to my knowledge, that's to my knowledge. If I'm wrong, please correct me, anybody. I will rectify that tomorrow, but I'm fairly positive that's, someone already corrected me, multiple people already corrected me on this one, and that's the Uniswap wallet. That's why it says Uniswap V2. But I've never seen it been this high, which means that people are selling, which also means that, over here, it wasn't even, it was probably like less than a trillion, more than a trillion coins less of what it is now, which means there's more people selling down here than they were up here. We've got people who are emotional, who are panic selling. They see 27% in a week and they're like, I'm out of this, screw this. Man, you're not going to last. If you're looking to buy this thing for the long term and hold, you're really not going to last with that, because those same people that wouldn't sell up here because they probably bought up here, right? And then they didn't sell up here, and then it goes down here and they're selling down here. Those same people, after the price goes down here, they're going to be like, oh man, I'm so glad that I didn't hold on to that. I'm glad that I just let it go. And then it comes back up here and they're going to be like, damn, I should have held on to it. I might buy up here. That, like, the people who don't have the emotional wherewithal to deal with a 27% week to the downside, almost 28% week to the downside, you're not going to be here for the gains, man. And you probably will buy the next high, because especially, man, it hurts when you bought something that you take a loss on, you take the L. And they're definitely, with this, absolutely there are people who are taking a loss on this thing. They're claiming losses as of right now. It hurts even more whenever you see that thing go up like 10x from where you sold it. Like that really stings, man. Speaking from personal experience, okay, I've been there. I know that sting. What I'm trying to say, though, is that all in all, guys, beyond the moderate crap talking on people who are selling down here, you do what you want. It's okay. You get out, do whatever you want to do. Maybe you're selling so you can buy back lower. Just don't get in that game where you're like, oh, I'll sell here and then I'll buy down here, and then it gets down here and you're like, oh, I'll just wait for it to go lower, and then it goes up here like in a flash of an eye, So, and you're playing that game of waiting for it to come back down, and it just never does. I've played that game too, and oftentimes you will lose that game. But what I'm trying to say is, I do think Jesus Coin is going to go lower. I can understand why people are selling, right? It's a bit concerning what we're doing right now. We do have bullish things going on. We do technically still have this low bouncing off of previous weekly high closing bases. We could come back down to this line, form some kind of double bottom, and still hold that. There is hope, but I'm under the impression, I would say it's greater than half, like greater than a 50% chance, probably even greater than a 60% chance that we take this low out. top to bottom here, bottom to top, I'm sorry, we have closed below the 618. For the first time since we formed this, we've closed below the 618. Okay, I guess actually we went above it, we closed below it here, but that didn't count. If we continue to close below it, not only will we be below the 618, but we'll be below this blue line, the 123 moving average, which wouldn't be good. That'd actually be the first time we've closed below this line. I mean, technically, since we've been above it, right? Like, quite literally. Bullish things after we broke above it, potentially bearish things after we break below it. I would say that the best prices will come below this line. Certainly they will. But in my genuine opinion, my most genuine of opinions, I would think that the minimum target that we would reach would be 70979, potentially down to 707205. And being that this is a relatively small fib extension, we could see prices all the way down here at 704. If I put a line there, and I put a line at the 1618, that's kind of this consolidation range that we had. The previous areas of support, previous areas of resistance here at the top, previous areas of support here at the bottom. You know, it wouldn't be crazy at all, in my opinion. Get rid of all these. To go somewhere down here. And I kind of think we will. I've been doubting it for a while now, but I kind of think, you know, I've always had it open as a possibility. I know this isn't the first or even the dozenth time that I've talked about it, but realistically speaking, with coins like this, and I know I've probably said this once or twice before, this is a pretty big drop that we've had already, right? 78% drop, pretty big drop from top to bottom so far. But generally with coins like this, after seeing the massive, like literally massive run up from September, end of September to the beginning of December, in a very short amount of time, we saw a growth of 6,000%. Okay, a 60x, 61x in a very short amount of time. It's very common, very, very, very so common, in fact, that like as of right now, I'm very much expecting that we see at least a 90% drop, which would take us well into the 7-0 land. 7-0s, 5, 6 is where that would be. And that makes sense as far as this range goes. So I do think Jesus coins got lower to go. I'm not selling. I'm holding mine. I know what my coin's worth. I hope you do too. Not financial advice. Do what you want to do. But if you sell here, you could be missing out on a really good opportunity in the months to come. I do think this meme coin has legs on it. I think that it'll do well. I can be wrong. I've been wrong before. I will be wrong again. You know, this could be one of the coins that I'm wrong about, but I got a good feeling about this one for whatever that's worth, man. Maybe you do too. I don't know. Feelings don't matter though. The price can do whatever it wants. And to be fair, the price action as of right now looks very bullish on a weekly basis, but this week here is kind of reversing that bullish look that we had. Right? We even from this top here to the bottom found resistance kind of right at that 618 area. You couldn't even actually hit it. That is a bearish case in itself. You know, maybe you want to take the relative high to the relative low, still just below the 618. Not a friendly look. So I think we go lower. All that to say, man, I think we go lower. And I've never been more convinced throughout this whole onslaught to the downside. I haven't been as convinced as I am now that we're going to go down there. But I'm still not 100% convinced. I'm more of like, I would say 60 to 70. Let's say 65% convinced that we do. Once we take that low out, I will be 80% convinced that we do. That's like down to there, genuinely. But that's all I got for you guys. So it might not be the video you wanted to hear. I'm sure I will get a bunch of dislikes, as I do anytime I talk about anybody's favorite crypto going down. But hey, man, I hold this too. It's not my favorite crypto, but I do have a sizable bit of cash in this thing, and I don't plan on letting it go. So even though, yes, I full-heartedly accept and almost expect to see from here a 57% to a 75% drop, you know what I'm going to do if it goes down there? I'm going to buy more. That's why I'm not worried about what happens in the short term. I don't care. I'm not going to play the game right now because who knows when this thing goes up. Who really does? I do believe that it's going to go up throughout the cycle. I think that this is not the all-time high and that it will see higher prices. All this thing needs to do is get listed on exchanges. It's not really listed on any exchanges now. So even if it gets listed on some like POS exchanges, man, that don't really matter, that would be bullish for this thing, right? And I will end this video off for all the people who have stuck around to hear this part. I was actually talking with my wife about this earlier because she was asking about Jesus Coin and saying, you know, like how will you know when to sell it, right? And she hit me with a dagger. She's like, you didn't sell it at the burn date, right? She's like you didn't know to sell it then. And I'm like, well, hold on now. For months I was actually saying that the burn date would be a sell the news event. It was last minute that I flip-flopped. Absolutely I did, and it wasn't the right choice. It very rarely is, man. Should know my lessons by now, but that's okay. Got a little bit attached to it, but the thing is the next major event to sell, there will be a major event, and can you guys guess what that is? It's a very highly anticipated event, and a lot of people actually are reading it wrong, just as they are reading the burn date wrong. A lot of people, whenever I was saying sell the burn, even though I did not, I fudged it too. But I was saying that selling the burn would be a smart idea. It was probably going to be a sell the news event, which it was. Absolutely it was. A lot of people were saying the burn's going to be good for the price, right? It's only going to be good. It's only going to go up from here. We're about to see it skyrocket. What are people saying right now? What event would cause Jesus Coin to skyrocket right now? It's an exchange listing, right? And I think everybody has it wrong. I don't think that the listing itself will be good for the price action. I think getting listed prior to being listed will be good for the price action. Because this is how exchanges work, right? The exchange has to buy the coin. They have to receive it somehow. And some companies, some projects, they allocate some coins and they give it to the exchange. They just give it to them, right? To get on their exchange. Some coins become popular and the communities that surround these exchanges want these coins, but they don't have access to it. So the exchanges accumulate it to then sell it, keyword sell it, to their constituents, to their customers, to their clients. So I would raise the point that the next sell the news event is going to be when an exchange, a somewhat more significant exchange than Poloniex, or whatever other ones have it listed, list it. Because before it's listed, like imagine an exchange is buying it right now. Call it XYB, whatever exchange you want it to be, is buying Jesus Coin right now. Are they going to list it here so that you can buy it from them at cost, right? They bought it down here at these lows, and they're going to list it now so that you can buy it from them. And then once the price goes up, you can sell it back to them and make money off of the thing that they bought. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense to me. That's not good business in my opinion. What an exchange is going to do is they're going to buy it. They're going to have their market makers involved, right? They're going to have people who have serious money, who have let's just say experience in manipulating the markets almost, right? Like in helping the price grow, right? Or do what they would hope it would do, you know, creating patterns, casting ideas that can help manipulate situations. That's like literally what market makers are, right? Are they going to have their market makers blow the price way up and then list it? Because when they list it, what are they doing? They're selling it to you, the clients, whoever might, you know, maybe they hear about Jesus Coin all the way up here. They're like, man, since September, this thing's done a 100x. Like, this was the next big thing, and it's Jesus Coin. It's a great name. Look, I look it up on X.com. It's got like a legit community. They do crypto church. I think that's awesome. I think some people might think that's funny. Some people might think that's legit, like whatever. You know, some people might think, oh, this is a blasphemous coin, as I'm sure many people do whenever they first hear about it, but then they look into the community and they're like, oh, wow, this is actually, like, everybody is, like, actually, like, legitimately taking this thing seriously. It's actually, like a coin based on Christian faith. Like, it's not just a joke. And it is a meme coin, but it's not just a joke like most meme coins are. There's actually a solid community around it. Do you think that the exchanges are going to sell it to you and list it down here, or are they going to buy it down here, buy it at lower prices, let the price pump, have their market makers, have their chart designers pump that thing up, and then once it's at highs, that 10x their money, 5x their money, 20x their money, however much, do you think then they would list it? I would think that's when they would list it. Because again, when they list it, they're not selling it, they're not making money off of it unless it's grown in value, right? And that's like, prime example here, right? If we go to Caspa USD, Binance right here. Nope, that's the premium. Sorry. USDT perpetual contract. Yeah, the day that they had the perpetual contracts, which isn't even the listing of the actual token itself. Literally, like 3 days after was the top, and then it started to move down since. Right, whenever the whole chart itself looks like this. Right. Like when did it, out of this whole time going up from this last low, when did it see its high? It was the week of the Binance listing, right? It was the week of the exchange listing. Why? Because Binance probably knew, hey, it's up here. We can make money if people buy our perpetual swap coins or whatever, and we can sell it to them. That's probably why the price is going down, or who knows, right? I'm sure they're accumulating Caspa still, but I detest, man. I digress. Sorry, not detest. I digress. What I'm trying to say is it's very common, very, very common for exchanges to list the coin after it's pumped, not before then. Because again, these exchanges themselves are buying the coin. They're not going to buy it and sell it to you for a cheap price. They're going to sell it to you for an expensive price so that they can turn a profit. And then they sell it to you up here, and you buy it up here, and then it goes down and you panic sell, and then who do you sell it to? You sell it back to the exchanges. So they're making they're double profiting, and they don't even have to trade it. You're the one trading it for them. And that's how this stuff works. And I've gone on long enough repeating the same stuff over and over again. That's all I got. If you guys liked the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. I know I went off a little bit there, but I do think Jesus Coin will see the 7 zeros range, probably around 707 to 704, somewhere in that range. 7077 to 704. Here we are at 60167. We have quite a ways to go. Probably, as I was saying back in my earlier days over here, talking about like around the burn date, how we would probably see something like this, and I kind of took that off the table once I saw this bounce. I was really hopeful for this bounce, but I'm starting to be less hopeful for it now. From top to bottom, we moved down for 17 weeks. Okay, so from top to bottom, 17 weeks would put us all the way into the end of March. It could be the end of March before we bottom. It really could be. And we might go exactly to this area right here. 17 weeks, I guess technically wasn't it 18 weeks that was the low? Let me see. Technically it was 18 weeks that was the low, my bad. So 18 weeks, I would think we see about 2/3 of that time, which would be 12 weeks, which could be sometime in February that we find our low. I would think this capitulation would take place quickly, right? If there are exchanges that are interested in buying, they might already have market makers involved who are more or less helping the price go down so they can get people to capitulate so that this wallet here can stack and add more coins to it, right? There's all these people who are weak hands that are going to get out. The exchanges will take advantage of that. They'll get their 1% of the total supply when it's ready. And then the price will skyrocket after that. It's not when the exchange lists that the price will skyrocket, it's beforehand. So once the exchange lists, that will probably be the next sell the news event. Maybe it goes up a few days, maybe it even goes up a few weeks afterwards, but I'm personally not going to mess around with it this time, man. When we get a significant exchange to list this coin, I'm out. I'm not out forever, but I'm getting out. I'm selling some, I'm taking profits, and rotating my money around and putting it into things that have yet to take off, because I would expect by that time, from the current price where we're at now, we would probably be all the way up in the land of the 5 zeros, at least here, which is going to be another like 6x from here, but probably even higher than that. We could see like a 6 to a 10x from the current price, let alone from where the low is going to be. So that's all I got for you guys. If you liked the video, hit that like button, subscribe to see more. I know I went all over the place, but hey, it's been a few days, so take care. Bye-bye.